Alright guys, I figured out why the thing wouldn't print. So I reclocked the motor. It was originally over here. So I just got down in here. Just very carefully soldered it. But anyway. These things are a pain when they break. If you pull them out and try and recrimp them, you probably won't get them. So the best way to do it is tin it first, tin the other wire first, then get in there and then just put it in there. Otherwise, better to just replace the entire cable, I guess. I don't know. So that's the issue. Having this clocked over here was making it to where when it would slide over here, it was bending the wires. So this will be better. This doesn't have the extension on it, so that's kind of why. I'm almost thinking with this one here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this back completely to original, and I'm going to ship it on down the road with the professional firmware and get it out of here, because there's no point. I don't need it. I don't need a backup printer of a backup printer of a backup printer, and the print quality of it is, you know, not all that great. Anyway, so we've got that fixed. Should be good to go as far as like printing, but I really do think that I will convert this later on today, so that there's no more stress on this. I'm not printing TPU. There is no gain by going direct drive if you're going to print regular filaments. I haven't seen any. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. So we're gonna get back in here and I don't know what this thing's doing. So I'm gonna find my drive later on today, and then I'm gonna put this back on the regular professional firmware. I'm gonna get Clipper off of it, and I'll do a couple prints on it before I'm done, and then it's just going to get put away. There was a guy that wanted to buy a radio from me. I told him if he buys a radio, we'll give him a free printer. So there you go. Anyway, let me get back in here. Alright, so I just scraped the print bed, got the filament loaded. We're just going to come back in here and see if we can print what we were printing, and we'll go from there. So I'd rather have this printer just set up really basic. See, if somebody went to go buy this printer and they didn't know what it was and they sold it to somebody else, then they wouldn't understand that this is a dual gear extruder. It sticks out further, so it requires a different bracket for direct drive than it would be if you were to use one of these. So this is like Creality's single gear all metal extruder version, but as you can see, it's narrower. Now that's what should have came on these, but didn't come on these. It came on the other one, the Neo. So now I'm thinking about doing is I'll put this on my Neo. I'll take it off of here. I'll put the Neo one on here. I'll put a plastic one on here. You know, something. It's not really important, because this one here, it doesn't have the extra Z screw. I've converted my other two printers to the dual Z screws, and this one doesn't have the magnetic sheet on it. That's not a problem, but I just kind of stuck with the glass because I didn't want to really throw it out, and it works. So see how now right here, if this normally would have been back over there, it had been forcing this to bend. And so what happened is it bent this thing so many times going back and forth, I guess, that it finally just broke it. So I was in the middle of printing a 2.5 hour print, well, 2 hour and 45 minute print, and the thing broke. And Clipper was smart enough to just stop, I guess. Let's see if we have our, we're not even good at all. So notice with this one, that any time that you lean on it or do anything like that, it will screw with the offset. So what we gotta do is we sit in here and come in here until, see right now we're wiping the damn bed, which is bad. Okay. This thing is, it's really sluggish to respond too. So at 40, from what I can tell, it should be fine. That's another thing I don't like about this, is it doesn't have the touch. Yeah, see right here, it's trying to print. So it's still not even good for that. And so 40 is just probably too much squish still. So it's really easy to get the Z offset screwed up on this one. It's really just a pain. So we're starting to get a little bit showing. We go 50. I don't hardly see that gear moving at all either. So I wonder if maybe the extruder's plugged up or something. So we definitely still have a problem. I don't know if there's something else wrong, but maybe I need to completely restart the printer. So we're moving the Z up right now. And I'm gonna go with the X. Oh no, I didn't want to home the X. Can you just stop? Lord have mercy. So let's go here and see if we can extrude. Extrude for 235. We have no extrusion as far as I can tell. It appears to be stuck, I wonder. Okay, so I just seen it extrude. Apparently this thing here cannot be just tightened down as much as possible, even though it has like this other little piece here. I'm gonna go. So you see it's extruding where it comes, but I'm going to tighten this down while it's extruding and see what happens. Apparently that's 25. Try it again. Okay, extruding. No, I've reefed it down all the way. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Try it again. Turning just fine. So it's possible just some kind of setting in the failure never reset itself. I don't know. So I'm sure it's going to be wrong once I start to print. Oh, we got all this crap on here. I think I'll be able to get it off in time, probably. I'm just trying to get this thing working. I don't really care about the print. And normally I never use a metal one. So what we'll probably have to do anyways is adjust the Z while it's trying to print. Oh Lord. So let's get into the adjustment menu. I already know that Z should be up 40, but it's not responding. So this thing absolutely drives me nuts. It needs to drop down to 70 before it'll start printing, even though it's above it. So it just sits here and sits here and sits here and sits here and does nothing. And this is the reason that I don't like enders, is while all this is going on, this printer over here is just sitting here printing away. It couldn't care less. So, yeah. If you want to waste hours and hours of your time and you like to fiddle, these are great. Here it is, still sitting here. It refuses to print until the bed gets down to the lower temperature. Some of the other ones don't do that. They'll just start printing, even if the bed is too hot. And I don't really care. What I do care about is when the bed is too cold. But the thing is, it by default wants to set the print bed for PETG to 80, which makes no sense. And since I have it sliced at 70, it sits there and does something else. Okay, we gotta go up, 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 up quickly. There we go, 40. Hopefully we can get it to print. I don't know why it's not saving my deal here. The other thing I don't like about printing on glass is with the hairspray, it always leaves some kind of funky residue on your print surface, and it just doesn't look as clean as a PEI. So a completely missing spot right here. But we'll just let it do its thing because I think that's a skirt. I suspect that these could end up breaking over here at some point in time too. Anyway, it's printing. It's driving me nuts, but you know, it is what it is. Those look okay. So we'll see how it turns out. It's nice I can have it over here printing while I'm using the other one. But, I mean, I have other printers. This one will print it just fine. I don't need one this big. This is faster than that. Not by a lot. And then these ones here, they'll print it. They're not any faster than this. And they might print worse. Or the same. They're kind of... What they kind of are is they're like fancy enders. Anyway. So it looks like it's doing okay. So now I can move on to other crap and hopefully it'll work. And I'll print out 2 sides on here. I just see how they turn out. And then later on, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to put this back to what it is. I'm going to basically send this printer into storage. It's just not, it's not worth crap. I mean, just like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's a pain. You got a lot of stuff in there. It's not worth running Clipper on it, let's put it that way. If it's your only printer, it is, but you know, by the time that you buy this Sonic pad and you buy this printer on Amazon, you could have bought a really nice printer that already has Clipper. So it doesn't make sense in 2024 to buy one of these for $199, but that's what they sell for. And if you get the older one, I believe they're still selling this one. This one's converted, but I believe they're still selling this one. I got dual Z on this. I believe they're still selling this for $169 on Amazon, considered to be limited time buy. But this one here also still has glass, but this one has a newer motherboard. I designed this drawer off of somebody else's file to fit this printer. So Dave added this and this. I added that. I added the dual Z. I put the bracket here. I made a notch into the power supply so that it can sit like that instead of having to sit further away and hang off the back. So this is your Ender 3 Pro, I guess, right? Yeah, Ender 3 Pro. This is the most very basic. There's, no adjustments here, no adjustments here. This one would come with that. Dave put a Nocturne fan in it, and he put the BL Touch. And then I put the direct drive and the Z. So there's a lot of money into this one. And they're not all the same. The offset of where the print head is, where the bracket is, and what direct drive brackets will fit them, they're not all the same. They're all different. So you get an Ender 3 Pro, you get an Ender 3 V2, you get an Ender 3 V2 Neo. All three of them are different. They're all different. They're close, but they're different. And so to make one of these brackets fit, you got to figure out, first of all, are you going to use a single gear or a dual gear extruder? Because, like I told you earlier, these stick out further. And this bracket has to either be able to move, or you need to print a different one that will accommodate that. Because you need to be lined up perfectly. Let me get in here. There's a little short piece in here. Unfortunately, this still has PTFE. So at some point in time, that could fail. And it would have like leakage up in here. Yeah, these are just kind of, great learning tools, but you could end up with a lot of problems if you try and print all the time with them reliably. So this other one, I believe has nope, still has the white tube. Because what I did was I basically modified it. I took this tube off of here. You cut it off and you leave I don't know, a little bit, and then that just goes up into there. So, but this one here, these what they do is they melt on the end and they start to not seal inside the hot end. And it's just the design is, old, and it still works, so they don't want to change it. So I don't know if it's a bimetal heat throat that they use. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. So this one here, very similar, but we have the design of it being much further away from the hot end, which kind of sucks. So then you have this section of Capricorn tubing in here, because this one's different. And this one also, it doesn't have that other piece there. It's a single gear. That's also why it sits up higher. If you look at this one, there's a screw-in piece, and this is just a different design. If we would have put a dual gear on this one, it would perform differently. So I don't use this printer anymore. It was fun to learn on, and it was, I don't remember what the price was. It was under $200 or around there. And this one has all adjustable stuff on it too. So this being adjustable here, you can print these, okay? Let me see. It just wants to wiggle. That's why I don't care for this type of printer. It's already tight, but it's gonna wiggle. There's only one screw for it. So it's actually printing pretty nice if you look. Not too bad. This is some really weird filament that I got. I've had it for a while, and I'll probably end up using it up here. But it kind of gets like a shimmery color to it. So anyway, I'm going to try and get some other stuff done while this is doing its thing. We'll catch you guys later.